All right.
Let's go with the sequencing.
The
sequencing of it.
So we're finally at the last episode of Power. It's been a long road. It's been a good 6 seasons. This is episode 15. Whatever the title is, because I keep forgetting. What was it? Exactly How We Playing.
I just gave you the title.
Yeah, Exactly How We Playing. Man, this is going to be the rawest episode we've ever done, for real. I got to tell y'all, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all on 2 things. Number 1, this is our second attempt of recording this, because there was a miserable, terrible error that happened. And number 2, we're going to say that for disclaimer purposes, we're reviewing this actually as the leak episode. So, but we're not going to release until the real episode actually drops. So this will be the leak review, and if there's any difference, then we're going to absolutely record that other review too. So we're a little bit before the episode come out, but we want to hurry up and get out initial thoughts about this episode. But if you look at our last episode, we talked a little bit about our expectations with the leaks, how they're going to go into Power Book 2 Ghosts and all that other good stuff. So definitely want to check that out. And for the people who already did, we appreciate it. But episode 15 is the last episode of the season. We're down to ever, right? 3 suspects left. Tasha, Tariq, and Saxe.
And Mary J. Blige was my other one, but clearly not gonna have discussions about that at this point.
Yeah. I don't know, like this episode, first of all, it was an extended episode, which makes sense. You had 3 people. The other episodes of this second part of the season 6 had 2, so they went about an hour, but this one went about an hour and a half. So it makes sense, but I don't know. Again, when you think about the logic of all of this, like, it really did come down to the 2 most obvious choices. It had to be the entire time. So,
because they took away the other obvious choice that anyone would have thought, which would have been Tommy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we saw 2 episodes ago that it wasn't Tommy.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to build the suspense, why not have made Tommy episode drive out a little bit longer?
No sense why they did it that way. But again, we get to the last episode, which also happens to be the weakest of the last 3 episodes.
I would agree. There's a lot of parts in this episode that truly makes me laugh, and probably some of the most hilarious moments of all the Power period, especially towards the end. But the one thing I'm gonna say is, like, I know people bust Tariq balls the entire season, and he stayed true to just being a complete idiot the entire time. Nonetheless, we got to see all the vantage points of everything that he had to do. I mean, the biggest thing for me in this episode was, like, Tommy continuously reminding him about how he was so wrong about Ghost so many different times. And Tariq just set up Tommy, still going after his dad with no logical reason.
Reckless abandonment. It makes literally... This is what happens when you spoil your kids, people. You get a little Tariq that makes no sense of all the decisions that he made.
You're right. I don't know. Tariq ain't never get a beating, did he?
He got jacked up a couple times, and we see in this episode another confrontation with him and Ghost where it kind of lead Ghost to basically kind of jacking him up, but never really like putting hands on him. He needed somebody to put hands and feet on him in this series, and they never did. Yeah. And unfortunately, we get the outcome of the Tariq that we get, which is still cool.
Yeah. Also, too, I mean, when you think about this, even with Tommy doing what he did to him on the rooftop, I mean, clearly we see that didn't do enough for this guy.
Nothing gonna do nothing. Nothing. He's worse than Vanilla Ice when Suge come over the balcony. He never learns his lesson, Joe. And again, that's reflected in this last episode. And let me go back for a quick second. When I said this is the weakest of the 3 episodes, it's a clear reason why. A lot of the scenes that we're seeing in this last episode is scenes we've already seen.
Yeah.
It's lots of scenes that you've already seen.
That's true.
Just from the different vantage point, but it doesn't change that you've already seen the scene, so it's not as fresh as it is in the other episodes. But the few scenes that we didn't get full views of in this episode worked well.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately that a lot of it had to be like, okay, we need to close this up, tell you who shot Ghost, explain why they shot Ghost, kinda, and then move forward with everything. And unfortunately, it leads to the being anticlimactic is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
With this last episode. Like, between the Tommy episode, which is the best of this season, and then we get to the Tate episode, which was really, really good, And then you get to this one and you're like, you kind of feel like you got let down a little bit. But I can't blame the show for that, because in all honesty, that's part of the setup.
Yeah. To your point, like, this episode definitely felt edited as if someone died in real life, and it was like, all right, what do we got left? Throw it all out there, you know. And again, I gotta be honest.
Like Omari was Curry Fisher.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Put all those things we took out before, just throw them all in there. And again, I can't stress enough. Like, hour and a half felt like, you know, that was the legitimate time that they needed to close the arcs of 3 people. But yet, we really didn't get anything new at all. We didn't get anything new as far as scenes. We didn't get anything new about characterizations. And for me, to be honest, we really didn't get no closures in people's arcs, so we say. I mean,
it ends, unfortunately, the show ends with a lot of arcs being left open that you want answers to.
Yeah.
Whether it be Tariq's arc and how it's closed out, Tasha's arc and how it's closed. Freaking Sax. Listen, I don't. Courtney, we love you for this show. I'm gonna need you to explain why Sax's whole shit wasn't closed off properly, and you left way too many questions at the end of the show. Way too
I mean, we're talking about the episode, so to be quite frank, how in the world did my man get his job back? Is all you want to know.
He was about to go under investigation. And because Warner, again, we saw in the prior episode when Warner gets let go.
Yeah.
That wouldn't change the fact that Sax was under investigation, though.
Yeah.
It made no sense that magically he gets the promotion, Han comes back. This is the second time I've seen Han come back in 2 weeks. Han comes back and gives him, like, that was a bit much.
Yeah.
But I guess let's stop at the top of the episode. We get, as customary in everybody's power contract, you have to smash in an episode.
Yeah, you know, Tasha, unfortunately, did not get Loren's tape as she has campaigned in real life.
Yes.
That she said that was her childhood crush.
She wanted to have her Love Jones moment with him.
And she went to the directors like, look, this is the last episode, which I got for me. They probably had a little huddle. They said, Q?
Yep.
She's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Throw him in there.
Nah, Nick. He was like, look, it's in my contract. Where's my power?
Who did duck that? Ramona didn't get one. And
Paz didn't get one.
Paz and Rodriguez.
Paz shouldn't have got a whole episode. Rodriguez, we don't know what way Rodriguez went, so she wouldn't go get one.
Sure, that's true. By the way, I know this is off topic, but whoever created that video on Facebook, the animated version of mocking everybody from Power, is the funniest thing when they
goes and his whisper talk. I don't know what the fuck I keep doing. Every time, Joe.
Yeah, that I gotta somehow, somewhere, I gotta like plug that into this video because like that joke was so funny. Yeah, obviously, look, the black sheep in the room right now is how in the world did it take what's her name? What's her name? That lost the DAL, that lost the job.
Damn, why is I about to call her Toya? That is not her name.
That's not her name.
As you can tell,
that Warner came.
As you can tell, we've been celebrating.
Yeah, it's the last episode. It's the last episode.
So we are letting stuff slip that we shouldn't let slip.
Yeah,
and you all know what we're talking about. She had the glow up of the century. Yeah, the glow up of Power century.
Yeah.
Once she got fired and became Sax's private attorney.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't remember now. I don't know why I want to.
We'll come back, but yeah, well, I was just trying to figure out how she does a good, nice job. Looking rough as day
and come back. That privatized money, man. She like, look, private sector. You know, them government checks don't hit the same.
Question: why didn't she get the job back?
It makes no sense that they gave it to Sax.
Yeah, because like
no one is going to be able to explain it to make sense.
I'm so confused.
Because at this point, she's the most honest person on Power.
Yeah.
And not saying that she was honest because she did some crooked stuff too, but the people who left, you would have automatically assumed they would have given the job back to her.
Yeah.
But instead, they gave it back to the Sacks. But again, let's not get too sidetracked here. So, the episode starts off with Tasha and Q doing power things.
Right. To make sense of that, Tasha obviously still thinks that her savior for all mankind is Q. Tasha wants a drug dealer. Q is not even that, by the way. So all she wanted was Ghost to be a drug dealer. Q comes along. He proves more than enough that he's a straight guy. He's making legit money. He has a kid.
Yes.
And I had no clue why Tasha chasing all these straight people to steal and sell. Matter of fact, fall in love, get her own self set up.
As she always
just
does.
to be satisfied. So at the end of the day, Tasha, I feel like, again, I'll say it all the time, was one of the smartest characters in here, but her love life is a tragedy. Like, she just doesn't get it. She doesn't get the right people, and it's continuously shown on numerous occasions.
It fits, again, the montage at the beginning of the last episode was great. I like you all, the way they pieced that together.
Yeah.
The way they pointed out in there, seasons back, was it the first season when Tasha said that she wanted the biggest drug dealer? Mm-hmm. Basically leading you to understand why her and Ghost's relationship was always destined to be doomed. Because he didn't want to be what she wanted him to be. And she since then has always been searching for that person, but the weird part is she's never fallen in love with a drug dealer. If that was the case, she'd have been with Tommy. That's the career drug dealer. Instead, we get Sean, who she slept with, not a drug dealer. We get Terry Silver, not a drug dealer. We get Q, not a drug dealer. She never knew what the hell she really wanted. That's her main problem is women can't be satisfied. Tasha can't be satisfied.
Here's the sickest part about that. So, if they can't find a guy of what they want, they automatically image their kids,
turn their son into the man that she wanted, and that's, again, I remember earlier in the season we were talking about how it could have been kind of smart for her to show him the game. I took it from the perspective she was showing him the game to show them that he could not do it. Now it seems like she was showing him the game to say, I'm gonna make you the man that I want.
Like, That's it.
That's craziness.
That's it. That's
and unfortunately, we see it every day. It's so many women with their sons as their kings. And this was the perfect example of that. So, speaking of her son as her king, after we get through the power sex scene, we get to the scene with her and Tariq talking. And Tariq discovers on TV his dad is now running. We've seen the scene constantly.
What are we going to do?
From everybody's perspective. And it's, what are we going to do? Tasha has a plan. Tariq, impatient and magically doesn't go to school after she comes from a booty call and wakes up and lets her know, like, XYZ has happened. It leads to more issues about Tariq wanting Ghost dead. Again, this clearly shows what happens when you spoil your children. Because we still don't fully understand why he wants Ghost dead. It's never told to us, really.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, and I think it's brilliantly done that it's never explained to us why he wants Ghost dead. Because in all honesty, he never has a legitimate reason to want Ghost dead. And whomever the directors of these last couple of episodes have been, because we've switched director to director to director, one consistency they all had is showing that Tariq does not actually have a real motive to want to kill his father.
Yep. I think another thing I was going to say is too, like, because this is the last episode, we did get to see a lot of things really get, a lot of the reminiscent moments. So when we went back to the apartment, now that it's fully repaired, obviously I guess it's going to go on the market, whatever it may be. We got to see the closure of the most iconic scene of Power. So we got to see, the kitchen scene where for the third time in 6th season, we get to see their third child, in case you didn't know. There was a third child. We got to see her. She has 3 scenes, 0 lines. I mean, that's an easy check. I'm kind of envious.
This baby don't get to speak.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. So we see her in flashbacks. I guess those counts, but ultimately in this season, like in theoretical timeline, 3 times.
It's Q's daughter. This season.
Yeah, Dre's mom, Dre's girl. Like, and you would have thought she was one of those characters. Like, they had
we saw Dre's baby grow up in a whole ass episode, and we still didn't see that much of this third child.
Yeah.
It's craziness. Yeah. But again, for this episode, I guess the reason why we could riff a lot on this episode because it's not a lot of new stuff in this episode. We all know what the setup is because they poignantly lead you to one thing and one thing only, and that's who shot Ghost.
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna talk about anything at this point, might as well talk about that part of it, because that's the most important part of this entire episode, is who shot Ghost and how they set up who shot Ghost. Because that kind of leaves more questions to Tasha. Is the smartest person on this show, but boy, did she make some dumb mistakes leading into the final conflict, or whatever you want to call it, of who shoots Ghost.
Yeah. I mean, she knew better.
That's how you can put it.
She knew better. I mean, if anybody's going to know their son, it's her. I mean, even the conversations that they had with each other, he wasn't trying to hear it.
Nope.
They had this little squad situation where they, you know, ultimately where it's like, she has a plan, it's motivating him, she got cold feet, other words, and she knows that at the same time that he's also equally motivated. Man,
For no reason.
for no reason, and there was a lot of things she could have did. I mean, the easiest one was when he called her
to answer the goddamn phone.
and she, I mean, cause she ducked the call as if, I don't know, Terry Silver called her and she was with another dude. It was her son. Like, pick up the call. Could have prevented the whole thing right there.
Man.
Not even just prevent the thing, but save her son. What is your son calling you for at the same time? And you loving Goo Goo Gaga with Q. Okay, and let's get to the final scene. So we know that she's gonna set it up. She has Q. She gets the key. Recover the key from after they do the inspection at the place. She gets the key to the Cadillac, which the Cadillac conveniently was in the club.
Yeah. Nope.
I guess I don't know how her plan figured that he would just
He would just open his door and she would be in the back seat for him to get killed by her.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
So Tasha's plan was done.
Yes, her plan was
Yeah.
stupid. Bringing Q there and telling him, hey, just park outside here right quick. Let me go inside. Like, you didn't even feed him first.
And let me tell you something real quick. My man Q put on for us. My man said, I know the cheeks were good and all, but like I ain't falling for it. My man said he went and got an alibi. He got some grub. He did everything he needed to do because he knew something was funny. He played the poker face. He knew something was inconsistent with how he was acting and so forth. But yes, long story short, so we can like get to the focal point of this, is that Tasha, she had a plan. Simultaneously, Tariq was engaged with a plan, but she also was curious about Tariq's whereabouts, but really not really curious because she also wasn't responding to him. Yes. And then she texts him, and then he didn't respond. Then she's like, "Oh my God, what?" But also, why she had this plan? The fact when she picked up the gun, looked in the rearview mirror, and
we see Sean's face.
The moral compass for her, huh? Huh? Not Silver.
She had sex with a child. And that is her moral compass. It makes no sense.
Silver had her outside the joint. I mean, if I ain't mistaken, Tasha shot that straight out of a Keisha Cole video and was calling a bunch of times like, I don't understand, you're not picking. If they would have shown exactly how many times they called, I would have died. But numerous times outside of his apartment crying, she was weighing her feelings about this guy. She looked for this guy.
He should have been the person.
And it was Sean?
I'm to this day, I'm just confused on why it was Sean that she saw in the mirror that made her say, "Oh my God, I'm doing the wrong thing."
Here's the other thing.
What?
Here's the other thing. Why wouldn't it just be Tariq?
Her son. Damn it. Raina, can we get Raina in the mirror? Give us something that makes sense here, people. But
I got refill my drink with that one.
Again, this is the issue, and it's a very, very big and poignant issue here. The way they set up this last thing with Tasha just didn't fully make sense. Now, after we get to her seeing her moral compass, then we get our second of the episode.
Now, this one made sense.
And we see Tariq walking up, and his moral compass is Kanan. Wow.
So we know that Kanan considered Tariq as a son, and Tariq felt like Kanan was the only person that loved him. point of the matter.
But
so
wasn't Kanan using him that entire time?
yeah, but he also forgave
Ray
him.
Ray and all
But he
them?
also forgave him.
Yeah, he forgave him because he like
They had the big Brody relationship. I can dig that. I feel like here's the thing. Kanan convinced them to keep walking down that hallway, but he became Tariq when he was holding the gun again. In the shot, I'm not buying it, but it is what it is. Tariq kills Ghost. Just we're clear with that.
For everybody who done
Tariq killed Ghost.
Tariq shoots Ghost.
Yeah, which also is consistent with what we said before. Who would it have been for Tommy to have let go? Tariq. So
at that point,
because it wasn't gonna be Tasha again. He wasn't gonna let Tasha save Tasha twice in a day.
Tasha just killed Lakeisha. He just shot her ass up with no problem, Jim.
Yeah,
it was
that's the ending. That's the
at
ending.
that point we kind of only knew it could be Tariq.
Yeah,
that would have been able to shoot Ghost and for Ghost not to kill. For Tommy not to kill him, especially with Ghost telling Tommy like, no, let it go. He ain't gonna say let Tasha go.
Yeah, he might have been cool. Well, and even if anybody even have anything to argue that point, the very end of the episode when everybody ready to get that insurance check, it is very clear where his heart was at with Tasha.
Yes. That's the best part because those are actually the new scenes shot only for this episode that we see, and that is when we get to the end. Ghost is dead. We see Tariq and Tasha go back to the apartment. They try to come up with a plan of, okay, this is what we're gonna say happened. Don't worry about anything else. At this point, Tasha's being the same mother that tried to save him with Ray Ray. She's trying to save his little ass again for another BS issue he did. So when we get to that part of it, and then we get to them sitting at the table, and the will is read by my man, who when he just broke 2 years ago. People was making fun of him because he was in the supermarket, working hard in the supermarket. People was making fun of him. He is on Power. Reading that will. And then it comes out that Ghost leaves Tasha nothing. He paid for a year's worth of rent for Tasha's mom. He left the third baby some money. Mm-hmm. He left Tariq some money, and he left Raina some money. Then it comes out that Raina's amount automatically goes to Tariq since she has passed away, and Tasha again gets nothing. But it comes with a stipulation, which again, one of the best parts of Power is this stipulation that Tariq gets nothing until he graduates.
Takes that ass back to school with a 3.7,
3.5 grade point average. Yep. Anything below that, and he gets absolutely nothing. Beautiful setup. Because this is the first time on the show that one of them have held him accountable for his own actions. And that is so messed up to think in 6 seasons nobody has done it. Also in this episode we get the conflict again at the hotel with Ghost and Tariq, and we really get to see Ghost's feelings about Tariq and about him not being the man that he wanted him to be. That was highly important, and it leads into that part of him leaving that stipulation in his will that you get nothing unless you graduate college with a 4-year degree, 3.5 grade point average. And then the wheels fall off at this point. After that point, we get the reveal of the setup of Tasha attempting to set up Q for Ghost's murder. Yeah. And then we get the sack shit.
No, this happened before that. So, that's the thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Warner, we've seen how Warner leaves the previous episode. Why is Warner and Sax in a hallway at the same time? Why is Warner and Sax jobs double jeopardies?
Why is Han back there? Damn it, Han! You was just
the Democratic Party just moved heaven and earth for this scene to happen. That's all we can say.
Somebody in power is a conservative too, because clearly they had painted the Democratic Party an extremely evil party that just comes up with shit at a whim whenever they want to, which leads Sax to now being the new DA. But he is still he got subpoenaed and served by the former DA. So that means the Democratic Party came in under Han and Don Toretta and erased everything that Sax did To make it like it doesn't fully make sense.
And look, if that's the happy ending that we needed to get for Sax, then goddamn, I hate it. That was like that was the whole thing.
If one person didn't deserve a happy ending,
it was Sax.
It was Sax.
It was Sax.
He did not deserve
that obsessive personality he had this time that did not deserve it.
No, man.
Also Rodriguez, as you've been saying for numerous times, she played all her cards and she folded.
Yes.
It was nothing there, and I like that.
She went from being the straightest person on the show to being absolutely crooked.
Yeah, she was all there.
So now, amazingly being in the day office, even though she's still just a cop. So why the fuck is she still there?
Yeah,
like nothing.
Also, Warner was the one that was kind of giving her the leeway to lead the investigations. No, now he's gone. Why are you still here?
It makes no sense.
Yeah, so the whole police
why would Sax trust her? She screwed him over, so he leave her there.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't fully make sense. We don't. She fucked up all across the board.
Yeah,
we just don't get those full understandings of what her fucking up across the board.
Yeah,
what happens next? Then we get Tasha meeting with our man.
Yeah, my man. Look, first of all, I gotta say, Courtney Kemp and the actor who plays Tupac, real life relationship. You can tell there was some favoritism going on there because Tupac rode out to the sunset as a certified G.
Yes,
and I'm down with it, and it is what it is. But yes, and right after that, Tasha still doesn't know how to. She has no money. She has no business. She don't have the insurance thing. I don't know if she even banking on the insurance thing. It doesn't even matter. She has no money. But in all times, in every time, when you need money, it's one person in power you go to. It's one person in power you go to
when you need money, and he will come through for you. He had just came through for Tate in the episode before this, so now he comes through for Tasha, and it's just a series of decisions that she makes that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand why she makes these decisions. And then we get to her attempting to set up Q, because at this point they need a fall guy. Granted, here's the weird part, people. They never needed a fall guy. No one suspected him of this murder. They never needed a fall guy. And she goes to the extent of setting Q up, which leads to Rodriguez busting down her door and Tasha being arrested for the murder of Ghost. And in the midst of it, Tariq attempted to act like he wanted to take blame for it. But he was probably like, man, fuck that little girl, Joe. She don't need you. And he just let it ride out. And then we get the John Legend Big Rich Town theme song.
Yeah, also, the FBI were nice. They just knocked on the door on Sunday morning. While Tasha was in her Sunday's best. Whatever happened there, good old breakfast. They was like, you know what? We're gonna have to take you in.
Yes.
So,
these are the nicest cops ever. And keep in mind, they've not been nice this entire series. But when it comes to Tasha in this last part, they decide to be nice.
Now, we're gentlemen, so I'm just gonna say this. We get to see the last end. We get to see Dominic Toretto go one way and Paul Walker go the other way. But I never knew that Dominic Toretto had a wig on this entire time in Tasha.
Wait a minute, you didn't know that was a wig?
I didn't know that was a wig. I just know when she rode off into that jail sunset, I was like, oh, okay, so, hey, women, y'all wear wigs because y'all can fool us. And it looks good, low maintenance, but I didn't know that was a wig. But when she pulled that baby off, I said, throw Tasha on this next season of Orange is the New Black. I think that's done. But if it's not, go ahead and throw that. Put her on the new 50 Cent ABC show. Yeah, throw put her on there. But yeah, so Tariq goes to school, not because he wants to, but because he has to make that money. Who knows where that's gonna go? Tasha goes to jail. She takes the charge for him. She says, go to school, whatever. And Tariq,
yet again.
Can I ask a few questions?
That damn baby is left.
Can I ask a question? Where's Tariq left at?
In school.
No. Who's watching this boy?
School.
So for clarity, I don't want the Tariq spin off. He smiled when he took his picture. Don't want the Tariq pull that wig off. I don't want the Tasha spin off.
Hey, 50 was right for posting that picture. Because when that wig come off, listen. Listen,
Lordy Lord.
Even her braids under the wig are struggle braids.
Lordy
that shit
Lord.
is crazy.
Lordy
Jim.
Lord. Lordy
That
Lord.
is craziness. But again, luckily we already know what the spinoff is.
Yeah.
As we talked about in the last episode, we talked about the spinoff. So
Well, we talked about our predictions. However, if you guys want to see our reaction for the trailer that dropped for Ghost Power Book 2,
Yes.
check out the other video. But again, this is our tentative episode because we don't know if the legit one that comes out in a little bit, as I look at the time, is going to be the same. So
an hour and 20
yeah,
minutes.
so we're gonna YouTube right now.